All right, let's talk about something huge. We're going to explore a totally different way of thinking about diabetes management. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with getting a perfect score. It's all about playing a much smarter game. So let me ask you, does managing diabetes ever feel like this impossible pass-fail test that you just can't seem to win? If you're living with it, I bet that sounds familiar. You know, the constant tracking, staring at the numbers, that feeling that every single meal is a test, and you're either passing or you're failing. It's just exhausting. And honestly, it can be totally demoralizing. And you know what? That's the huge fundamental problem with the standard approach. The old playbook, the one so many people get, is all about perfection. It hands you this super rigid list of rules, right? Don't eat this, don't eat that, no bread, no rice, definitely no birthday cake. But life happens, doesn't it? And when it does, that playbook doesn't actually make you healthier. It just produces shame. And that shame can make you want to just disengage and avoid the whole thing. Okay, so look at this. It really lays out the massive shift in thinking we're talking about. On one side, you've got the old way, these rigid cookie-cutter meal plans and all that food guilt. We're moving away from that. The new way, it's all about a flexible strategy. It's about using smart food combinations, feeling empowered, and, this is a big one, setting goals that you actually come up with for yourself. So who's behind this new way of thinking? Well, this philosophy is really championed by incredible people like Kara Burnstine. She's a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes care and education specialist. And her entire approach, it's built on a really simple but honestly revolutionary idea. Her whole thing is this: you have to meet people where they are, not where some textbook says they should be, but where they are right now in their actual messy real lives. What does that mean in practice? It means building trust and really understanding a person's habits first. That comes way, way before you even start talking about any food rules. And all of that leads to this incredible core idea. Seriously, listen to this. You don't have to be perfect to manage diabetes. You just need to be strategic. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not about being the perfect patient. It's about being a strategist. That one sentence just completely reframes the whole psychological weight of diabetes. It's no longer a test of whether you can comply. It's a game of strategy that you can actually win. Okay, so that sounds great, right? But how does this whole strategy thing actually work in practice? Well, the science behind it is surprisingly simple. It really all comes down to one thing: combinations. See, a carbohydrate all by itself is going to hit your bloodstream way differently than if you eat that exact same carb with some protein, a little fat, and some fiber. Let's make this super practical. Imagine you're going to have a slice of toast. That's your carb. Now, instead of just eating it plain, let's build on it. First, you add a protein, maybe a couple of eggs. Then you bring in a healthy fat. How about some avocado? And to finish it off, you add some fiber, maybe some spinach or tomatoes on the side. What happens when you eat that whole combination? You get a much, much gentler blood sugar response. You get energy that actually lasts, and you totally avoid that awful post-meal crash. And this is so important. This strategy means we can make almost any food fit. It's not about deprivation. Think about it. If someone tells you you can never eat rice again, you just feel deprived, right? But what if someone taught you how to pair that rice with some lean protein, a healthy fat, and a bunch of veggies? Suddenly you feel empowered. You're not cutting out foods you love, you're just learning the logic to make them work for you. All right, so the food science part makes a ton of sense. But the real magic here, the secret sauce, is all psychological. Why does this strategic, person-centered approach work so much better? Why does it create change that actually lasts? It all comes down to one powerful word: ownership. And this is about so much more than just food. We're getting into the very core of what motivates us as human beings. And this difference is absolutely critical. Think about it. When a doctor or a dietitian just hands you a goal, sure, you might comply for a little while, but that kind of compliance is super fragile. The minute they aren't looking over your shoulder, it can just poof, disappear. But when the goal comes from you, when it's something you chose, something connected to your own values, that's when you tap into real intrinsic motivation. It's not just something you do, it becomes a part of who you are. It's just like Kara Burnstine says, when it's their choice and their rules, they own it more. It's as simple as that. And since diabetes management happens 24/7 in your real life, not for 15 minutes in a clinic, that feeling of ownership, well, it's everything. So what's the big idea we should all walk away with? It's really a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. You're not just a patient who has to passively comply with a bunch of rigid rules. No, you are the strategist of your own health. You're the one in the driver's seat, armed with the tools to make smart, flexible choices no matter what life throws at you. And that leaves us with one final question for you. Thinking about all this, what's one small, strategic goal, something you can truly own for yourself, that you can start with today?
I stopped trying to find a doctor who would listen, and I did this instead. For years, I was doing everything right. Eating clean, exercising, getting 8 hours of sleep, but I was still exhausted. I had constant brain fog, and my hormones felt completely out of whack. Every doctor told me my labs were normal, and it was probably just stress. I was about to give up until I found Holistic Health. It's a free AI wellness tool trained by functional medicine experts. I spent 5 minutes answering questions about everything: my symptoms, my sleep, my digestion, and it built me this. And this was the light bulb moment. It didn't just give me a list of problems, it connected the dots. It showed me how my gut health was likely impacting my hormones and how that was causing the fatigue and the brain fog. It even gave me a clear list of potential root causes, supplements to research, and even the specific lab tests to ask for. Its tip is secure. Over 77,000 people have used it, and it's 100% free to get your blueprint. If you feel like you're not being heard, start here. Understand your body first and then decide your next step.